Hello everyone, and welcome to the next edition of the Holland Land Office Museum's Artifact video series. My name is Ryan Duffy and I'm the director of the museum, and this week we're going to talk about a very important woman in Genesee County's history that actually made a national milestone for the progress of women's rights here in the United States, though she did it sort of by happenstance and was essentially filling in for someone else, but ended up creating history in the process. So this week we're going to talk about Mina Griswold, who ended up being one of the first rural male letter carriers in the United States. So Mina May Whiting Griswold was actually born on February 21st, 1855 in Monroe, New York. And upon marrying her husband, they actually moved in 1891 up to Darien Center, and that's where she would live the rest of her life. Now she would become well known when around 1900, her husband, who was a mail carrier for the Darien Post Office, whose front is actually behind me here, he became ill and was not able to carry out his task, and that was very unfortunate as the mail had to be delivered. It was one of the prerogatives there. And to make matters worse, there was a severe snowstorm that was coming through at the time. But undeterred, Mina took up her husband's carriage and his horse and rode out to deliver the mail, and in the process actually became one of the first rural mail carriers in the United States. Now this was not an easy task as the roads were nearly impassable and the weather was horrible, wind, snow, and cold, but Mina persevered and was able to deliver the mail and claimed that many men would not have even been able to do it. In fact, Mina is quoted as saying, "They told that men couldn't even get through there with a team, let alone a woman and a horse and buggy. But go through I had to, and go through I did. We had been told that if the mail was not delivered every day, the routes would be taken off. I had an invalid husband and children to support, and a little home to pay for, so I had to go through." So it wasn't only that the mail had to be delivered, but if the mail routes weren't kept up, they would actually be taken off, and maybe these places wouldn't get mail or wouldn't get it very often. So it was very important to Mina not only to provide for her family, but to also provide for the town of Darien. Now Mina would pass away in 1941 at the age of 86 after a lengthy illness, but she did leave her mark in the process on the history of Genesee County. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Holland Land Office Museum's Artifact video series and learned a little bit more about Mina Griswold, one of the first rural mail carriers here in the United States. She was from right here in Darien in Genesee County. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up or even subscribe to the channel, and be sure to check out all the other videos we have on our channel at Holland Land Office Museum on YouTube. But as always, the best way to learn more about the topics within those videos is to stop by and see us at the museum, and we'll be happy to show off the artifacts in person and tell you even more information.